Nate Goyard.
Stay with me, little bitch, yeah, you know that I'm your man. You be capping like a snitch, no thoughts, one stand. 2 hoes, 10 toes, new guac on the bands. New whip, new chips, new kicks, Jackie Chan as she pay. Bad bitch, no bag, I just hit another lick and she be counting in my rest. And I be feeling hella rich, no Brian, on this stack. About to make another hit, God bitch, in my life. Stay with me, little bitch, yeah, you know that I'm your man. You be capping like a snitch, no thoughts, won't stand. 2 hoes, 10 toes, new guac on the bands. New whip, new chips, new kicks, Jackie Chan as she pay. Bad bitch, no bag, I just hit another lick and she be counting in my rest. And I be feeling hella rich, no Brian, on this stack. About to make another hit, God bitch, in my life. If she fucking with me, then you know I got it down. I be feeling like a Uzi, got my mind up on the check. Foot loose, getting goofy with your hoe, she love me better. I ain't talking ass cash, but that bitch she bad. And I posted out with twin glass and phone bitches, no face, all they want is squad.
Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. As you can tell, I'm going to be talking about men who are falsely accused of rape by women, and I feel that I need to address this. Very important. Me, as you guys know, I'm not really a simp. I'm not just going to immediately take a woman's word, say that she was being raped by this man, because the only way I'm going to believe it, unless there's actual, again, even if you don't see it in person, there has to be like some sort of examination, some sort of markings, fingerprints, some sort of way to actually make it be convincible. In order to convince me, that's proven like easily, something that you can easily prove, again based on fingerprints, handprints, or video footage, camera, audio footage, like audio clips. But nowadays it's also very dangerous, because now it just seems like men are being discriminated easily, and it seems just very sexist, because there are people, one thing I need to warn you guys, there are people like, again, the law or simps out there that'll easily take a woman's side, even if you haven't done anything. And they'll easily take her side, because you know why? It's simply because they're hoping to get the girl's attention, maybe to try and impress her. And that's what's really irritating about people. It actually makes me sick to my gut. And not only do I blame the women, 100% blame the men, or the people that make excuses for these kind of heinous people. People who set you up, lie, especially if you've never even been registered before. And actually, it really strikes my nerves. It really makes my blood boil. It's honestly sick, because people who try to like frame you, who lie behind your back, they will never say that you did any harm. They will say it behind your back, and that's the most disgusting part of humanity. You have people who will go behind your back and spread lies without letting you know if you're doing something wrong. And I'm gonna be reading a couple articles. Because this one's again very important too. This is a huge prime example where you have women who accused of lying about rape claims by 2 football players at a college. And you know what? Not only did they get arrested, they were expelled. And I'm sure you guys are, again, I'm sure a lot of people are aware about this, who've seen it. I'm not going to show you the clip because I'm going to be reading out some articles. But for a group of guys who put their effort, who try to get an education, who try to work their way into success, for them to be ruined based on false claims, I blame the school, I blame the woman, and it should never even happen in the first place. Because people are very stupid. Let's be real, you guys. The only time I'm going to believe some people need to dig more deep, do more research, actually find some sort of evidence that'll convince people like me or anybody with common sense that knows whether she's the real victim or not. Words these days are not enough. So as I proceed with the article, we're going to be talking about, like, for example, a woman confessing to lying about rape that sent a man to prison. It was by Laura Italiano. And this is actually a really dumb reason. It's because she was not getting sympathy from her friends. Brierne Puguero Gonzalez concocted an elaborate story in 2005, again back in 2005, claiming that a Bronx man held her at knife point as he and two pals arred her on a deserted street. She lied to friends, doctors, police, prosecutors, grand jurors, and jurors about how William McAfee and his friends kidnapped her from her parked car when she was blind drunk and attacked her. So to make it seem like it sound like it to be believable, she told other people and then made it seem like, oh, this is what truly happened. And it seems like she was trying to make it seem like she was actually building up witnesses, or based on rumors, and or based on people who either heard or seen or whatever. And that's how they believe whether they believe he was aggressive, which he truly wasn't. But Gonzalez, now 27, had an outstanding facile ability to look one in the eye and offer up a falsehood. Manhattan prosecutors wrote in sensational papers released today. Based almost solely on her testimony, McAfee was given 20 years in prison and spent the past 3 years serving time. Feel bad. But Gonzalez lied, driven by anger at her friends for not believing what likely really happened that night. She had gone to a car with McAfee and his two friends and kissed him, but grew afraid after she blew off his further advances, and he erupted in anger, cursing at her and threatening to dump her out on the street, the paper said. Yesterday, she turned herself in to Manhattan prosecutors and pleaded guilty to 2 counts of perjury for lying about the rape, but according to the prosecutor's documents, the reason she lied in the first place was because of her friend's reaction to her tale of drunken abduction. So apparently she made this lie because she wanted her friends to actually believe her and her to get some sort of compensation and feel bad for her. Again, just to gain sympathy, so she can actually build like some sort of sympathy with her friends. Psst, beyond pathetic, honestly, if you ask me, you guys. But again, let's continue. When the man drove her back to her friends, and it's clear he literally drove her back. So if he really was trying to do like what she said, wouldn't she make sure that she was not alive today? I'm not saying during that situation, because I don't see any like abuse, like sexual assault, like or sexual predator actually letting their victims get away. So still doesn't add up based on what she said, because if he did, any person would come to, and again, I'm not trying to encourage it, they would make sure that she wasn't out in public. They would make sure that she wasn't out with her friends. They would make sure to keep her away from people, from the public, just so that she doesn't blow his cover. But clearly she did not escape. He just let her off the hook, so, and had nothing to do with what she mentioned. So continuing, Gonzalez's pals started arguing with her about her leaving them. The women all started slapping one another, the paper said. So this is just literally between girls, not has really nothing to do with a fight between the man and girl. It's just that it was the fact that she had an incident with friends, and just trying to make it out like as if she's the victim here, and get some sort of sympathy card. Just hearing her, I honestly don't see the purpose of it. I actually don't really see what she gained. She clearly ruined somebody's life, but it's like she ruined her life after as well. So, but I would say the man got it worse than her. So Gonzalez was both fierce at her pals and still hysterical about the incident in the car, according to the document. At one point, when one of her friends asked whether she had been raped, she replied that she had. So it was because literally someone asked her, and she decided to lie and say yes. So that what gave her the reason to make those claims, because someone asked her. Had someone asked, would she have responded, or would she have reported to the police? Who knows? She replied that she had because she wanted the group to feel badly. Like I said before, she specifically said that she was upset with one friend after the fight because the friend was angry and did not seem to care about her. So this is where I'm confused. How does the fight have anything to do with her being raped by the man? So it just seems like she's trying to make this like cognitive story like that just is like completely separate, like from what she's talking about. Like, it doesn't add up to the guy as if he started or not. Like, he had nothing to do with the fight, but yet she tries to get him in trouble as if he did something wrong. Like as if he really put as if he really didn't, like he as if he somehow put her in a bad state, as if to get revenge. Honestly, that's just my thought. But like, I don't understand how this should affect him when he clearly was not the instigator. And it seems like she's the only one, or whatever issue she has with him, she deals out with her friends and not try to get other people involved. And that's the crazy thing. It's kind of like Dragon Patriot said about Dannerolf. He tried to get other people involved, nor either to fight his battles or to lie about them to make it seem like he's in the right and they're in the wrong, and that other people need to be able to like fight their battles for them. Which it seems she's trying to get their sympathy by trying to have them, the court, her friends, fight her battle for her. It didn't help that Micah Frey, who was a long rap sheet of drug and violence arrests, claimed that absolutely nothing happened in the car because an argument did erupt. Although there wasn't a sexual assault or rape, law enforcement sources said. In an interview with the Poste, McFrey, who was released from prison September 1st, again denied there was any fight between him and Gonzalez in the car. Which I was right. I claimed correctly. So that's a total lie. He said, "I'm just happy to be home," said the 33-year-old construction worker who was visiting his girlfriend. He praised Gonzalez, saying it discouraged her to come forward and finally tell the truth. But for what cost? He still lost a lot of time because of her for nothing. But he said he believed that she came forward only because DNA evidence was about to clear him anyway. So, like I said, going back to what I said, the only way you can prove someone is guilty is based on DNA evidence, samples, examination, whether you got physical with someone. Those are perfect examples, and whether to confirm someone is guilty or not. Gonzalez, now married and with a new baby, declined to comment today outside Manhattan Criminal Court, where she entered her guilty plea. She confessed her sin to the Catholic priest in the spring, and the clergyman persuaded her to talk to a lawyer, who then went to the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Gonzalez faces 2 to 7 years on each count, lying to a grand jury, and then again during the trial. I don't think it's enough to change her, you guys, because who knows? Even if she goes to church, she prays to God. I want to see the improvements first. If I want to see how she's managing, if she's taking actually the right steps, because what she says is not enough. So we will be talking about Elena Williams, who was jailed for 8.5 years after rape and trafficking lies. Whatever, you guys, let me just skip through that part. I had to get rid of the ad so I can be able to continue reading. Again, Elena Williams jailed for 8.5 years after rape and trafficking lies. 22-year-old from Barrow posted photos on Facebook, falsely claiming she had been abused. Continuing with the article, a woman has been jailed for 8.5 years after being found guilty of lying about being raped and trafficked by an Asian grooming gang and making false rape claims against a series of other men. Elena Williams, 22, from Barrow in Fairness, was convicted in January of 9 counts of perverting the courts of justice. Sentenced her at Preston Crown Court on Tuesday. The judge, Mr. Justice Altham, said her allegations were complete fiction and criticized for showing no significant signs of violence. And again, my point, these women don't care if they're getting innocent men in jail. That's how you know, like by these women, is that you'll notice when all of a sudden once they're caught lying, they're caught slipping. Now all of a sudden they're not sorry. You realize they're looking down on the ground, looking up, not wanting to actually listen to anybody, because they realize they've been caught and they're not willing to admit their wrongdoings, because that's how narcissistic these women are. And obviously they need to 100% be put in check. And just because of someone's looks, just because they seem harmless, innocent, does not mean that it's a given. So her claims went viral. See, Her claims went viral during lockdown in May 2020 when she posted photographs of herself on Facebook covered in shocking bruises with a black eye and partially severed finger. She said she'd been being made to attend sex parties by evil yet clever Asian men, mostly Pakistani business. And again, can a lot of it, these women can be who lie about being victims of rape. They'll do it because they're racist towards these people, towards these men. So they want, and then they're crazy enough they'll even hurt themselves. They go through that length, injuring themselves, bruising themselves, giving themselves a bloody nose because they really got it out for that person. Whether it's because of men or it's because they don't like that race of people. So it's very confusing. Like these women are very unpredictable. So it's this video again is to let you guys be aware because like I don't even know what the whole purpose behind women lying about victims and again takes away the it takes away the actual like victims. It makes the actual victims seem like they can't be trusted. It makes them seem like they're unreliable. They're just complete cognitive lying like scumbags. Just women who aren't open. It ruins a lot of cases. That's what these women are, but they don't care. Is that you guys need to be aware? It ruins actually a lot of cases for people who are actual victims of rape. And that's what I'm trying to bring up because they really got out for people who they're either sexist towards men or just very racist and just complete bigotry if you ask me. Just for whatever reason, like people have nothing better to do. These women just have no value, and the ones I'm talking about, the ones who lie about being victims themselves, they are the perpetrators. They are the ones that are guilty and should be further prosecuted and should not be able to see the light of day. And I'm going to continue reading this. The allegations soon spread far beyond Cumbria. The allegations soon spread far beyond Cumbria and sparked a global solidarity campaign, Justice for Ellie, with more than 100,000. With more than 100,000 Facebook members. It had its own line of merchandise featuring a purple elephant and prompted rallies all over the UK amid allegations of a police cover-up. And you'll notice a lot of these allegations, like you could say there's like you'll have hundreds of these going on in the UK. And sometimes now laws have to be more stricter now. Because you can't just take someone's word for it anymore, seriously. Because you gotta do the best you can to prove whether you are a victim. And I definitely agree with that. Like just saying it, I just can't believe hearsay anymore. Whatever someone says, I'm not gonna believe it until it's proven. There are ignorant people out there that will believe it. Why? Because they're very nice, or they just want to get that person. They want to get approval by that person, just to either get laid in the bed, or because they're so again they're so like the best way to say it is because they're so succumb to women's beauty, whether it be their bodies. They want to do whatever they can to satisfy them, and they feel the best way is to defend them regardless whether they're lying or not. But again, Cumbria police recorded 151 crimes linked to the case in 2020, including malicious communications and harassment, as well as criminal damage and as well as criminal damage and public order offenses. Hate crimes tripled in Borough that summer, and for one thing, speaking of hate crimes, one thing these women don't realize, it actually encourages more. It actually spreads more hate crimes towards women, because the men that were accused, men that were sent to jail, especially if they know they're not guilty and there really is enough evidence, they become very misogynistic and incels. But I would say more misogynistic. And then you know what? I'm not saying I blame them for being for spiting women, but at the same time I would say I can't blame them for not trusting any women anymore. But at the same time, you shouldn't take it out on random people at the end of the day. If that guy was to go out and literally confront that woman and just call out, spit on her face, I'm to be fair, I would say I'm with him. He shouldn't go as far as beating her. I don't think it's worth it. he shouldn't do that. But if he confronts her, spits on her face, and then just shoves her off, shoves her out of the way, she deserves it. Let's be real, you guys, because she's the one who put him in this situation, knowing that he did nothing wrong and just did not care and had no regards for his life and was only thinking that only only she can be the victim, and men are always can be they're always going to be the aggressor, and that they get away with lying constantly, which again just lets you know how evil these women are who do that, and they need to be called out, and they are truly evil. So let's be real, you guys, women who make false claims towards guys just to make themselves look like a victim are truly evil, and I can't see them as I can't see them being irredeemable. Why? Because um, I never see a time where they're actually sorry about it. I think the only time they're sorry once they realize that they're when it's proven that they're actually guilty, that there's no actual proof. Once there's no DNA, there's no like DNA like sample. There's no again no no fingerprints, handprints, whatever. No sign of physical contact. They know they're screwed up. They know they screwed, and people aren't gonna really buy into this. That's why they really can't redeem themselves, because no one's is gonna really believe them anymore for what they have to say. When they decide to continue making this kind of lies and trying to frame somebody, if they try to say that they're the next time they say they're victims, no, what's to say that people are ever gonna believe them? Never, because they lied about it last time. So anything they say about that relates to those claims, it's just going to be ignored, and that's the reality of it. But again, let me continue with this article. I'm going a little off. In a letter to the judge on Tuesday, Williams maintained her innocence, but she said she was sorry and devastated at how her fake Facebook post affected her, bro. And again, this is just a fake apology, because she could have done that before she's been called out for being a liar. She should have done that like before anyone even realized that she was lying. She should have done that after she lied, not knowing that people didn't know whether it was true or not. Didn't know the whole story. Didn't really hear the other guy's story. And that's why I said it's best to hear both sides of the story and then see what see what he can do, see and just know the type of person that he is first before you take someone else's side. Because when you hear, if you prefer to take someone else's side and you don't try to hear the other person, that makes you a hypocrite, legit. And it's always best to hear both sides, so you don't try to misconstrue people and make it seem like that they're in reality that they're kind of person, because that's basically how you're trying to portray someone. Even if, because the only way I can believe someone of being that kind of like individual, unless they have some sort of pattern in their behavior, if they have some sort of track record. That's the only way I can believe it, and I'll be convinced otherwise. If they have no track record, if there's no sign of like pattern of behavior, then I'm not believing it. Yes, people can manipulate you and believe that they're very harmless and stuff, and that they have a life, that they won't really do harm to anybody. But because yeah, people are just unpredictable. That's just how it is. But we can't go straight to conclusions. We have to know um, someone's side based on based on what they have to say, what we need to hear, and so we can be able to compare and figure out the actual like conclusion to make sure no one's actually being accused of the things that they didn't do, and it actually will be that way we'll be able to resolve the situation a lot more easier. And I'm going off topic again, but let me continue reading. Um, let me probably repeat the other one. In a letter to the judge on Tuesday, Williams maintained her innocence, but said, okay, I already read that part. So I understand that's your job to believe the jury's verdict, and that's okay. I know I made some mistakes. I'm sorry. I know it's no excuse, but I was young and confused, she wrote. Again, no excuse. I'm not saying I'm guilty, but I know I have done wrong on some of this, and I'm sorry. I'm devastated at the trouble that has been caused in Barrow. If I knew what consequences would come From that status, I never would have posted it. The judge said Williams held limited responsibility for the community tensions resulting from her Facebook post. Some community impact was foreseeable, he said, but he said the consequences of her lies for the criminal justice system were far-reaching, adding there is a risk that genuine victims will be reluctant as a result of this to come forward. Despite the focus on Asian groomers, by the time Williams made her Facebook post, she had been charged with multiple counts of perverting the court of justice. These included making false rape claims against 3 young white men, one of whom, Oliver Gardner, simply had the misfortune to ask her for a light in the street. Another, Jordan Trengove, spent 73 days in prison on remand after she falsely accused him of raping and drugging her at knife point. But Williams reserved her wildest allegations for a Barbaro businessman, Mohammed Ramzan, known locally as Mo Rami. Ramzan, now 43, told Preston Crown Court he had only met Williams once, briefly at a family party. Williams said he was in fact the head of an international grooming gang who first had sex with her at aged 12 or 13 and then trafficked her and dozens of other girls around northwest England and abroad. Trengove, Gardner, and Ramzan all said they tried to kill themselves as a result of being falsely accused. Trengove and Ramzan were in court on Tuesday to see Williams sentenced. Outside court, jurors who had been invited to return for the hearing hugged the men and shook their hands. Williams thanked the judge after he passed sentence, then waved goodbye to her sister, Lucy, and mother, Alison Johnston. Lucy gave evidence for the prosecution after Williams claimed that she had been trafficked by Ramzan to Amsterdam and sold at a brothel to the highest bidder. In fact, the sisters had gone together to Amsterdam to celebrate Williams' 18th birthday. Williams had 6 mobile phones she used to create fake identities and manipulated the Snapchat accounts of real men she had met via the dating app Tinder or subscribers to her account on OnlyFans, the erotic photo sharing site, to make them look like they're Asian abusers. So again, she clearly she knew what she was doing. So she literally made fake identities, as I read to you guys. She literally used accounts of real men that she met. So that's why I don't use Snapchat. This is why I don't really try to give up my personal information. And that's the thing, though. So she take advantage of the people who actually gave out the personal information. Then that's what Snapchat is literally about. So I'm sure not only did it show their faces, it literally showed where they lived, their names, and that's why I would never use Snapchat, because it's not worth putting my information out there. Because I could literally, and I said I encourage not to do that. Again, that's what people will do. They will literally, if you're naive enough, if you're clueless enough to actually leave whatever information you have, whether it be like your legal name, your home address, your fit, especially along with your face, that will come to haunt you, and then they'll put you at risk. So those guys literally made a mistake by doing that, because now she was able to take advantage of them, and that shows intent, that she was trying to frame someone by literally finding accounts, looking for the real identity of men and trying to make up the story that these are her abusers and this is the personal information. I need you to go and pursue these people, and so that I can have justice for myself, fake justice. So that's why, again, you guys need to be aware of this. And it shows how clueless people are, and that is the risk. And she was able to take advantage and then managed to convince convince these, again, convince the police, convince like the law, the court, because nowadays it seems like people don't care whether you're innocent or not, because it's like the best way to make money is they keep arresting people. I'm not sure. I can sure it's not every city, it's not every state, it's not every country, but I feel like they benefit by arresting people, and that's why, again, a law should be about protecting people. Like, Like, there's no reason to arrest anybody if they're not committing any crimes. But if for whatever reason, if they're making money and they're profiting by arresting people, then um, there's nothing, there's really nothing you can fix. There's nothing, you really cannot fix the law because apparently that's how they make a living. They can accuse you, lie, and then however many arrests they make is that means that they're gonna make more profit. That's how much profit they make, and for them it's important to do that, regardless whether you're innocent or not, which is absolutely disgusting and beyond belief. So going back to what I was reading, police were able to prove that one Snapchat account that purported to belong to Trengove and which seemed to be goading her about the rapes had in fact been created using the Wi-Fi at the Williams family home on Walney Island in Barrow. Williams gave police a list of 60 girls, half from Cumbria and half from elsewhere, who she said had been pimped out by Ramsden's gang, but when police knocked on the girls' doors, they were met with blank faces. One of them, Chloe, not her real name, told the Guardian of her confusion at being confronted with the suggestion she had been groomed and abused with Williams, who was in the year above her at Walney School in Barrow. Had the police around out of the blue. They said, I was named by Ellie Williams that I was at these parties in Morecambe and Preston. Not the case at all, said Chloe, now 21. She said she had been on one night out with Williams, and though she knew her to say hi, was not a close friend. It's very weird how she mentioned my name. Damn, so much to read here. But we're almost done, you guys. Even so, Chloe was as shocked as everyone else in Barrow when she saw Williams' Facebook post in May 2020. She still struggles to believe her injuries were self-inflicted, as a forensic pathologist concluded that they were with the hammer Williams bought from Tesco a few days earlier. Chloe bought a Justice for Ellie t-shirt and joined several solidarity protests. Everyone had something of Justice for Ellie, everyone, and if it wasn't on you, it was on your car or on the front of your house. She says she feels stupid to have joined the rallies for someone who made up so many lies. It got very nasty very quickly, and again these women they let a lot of people down only to make them feel stupid because all that cause and what they're fighting for now just seems pointless because who can you trust, who can you believe? Because when you lie, you put a lot of people down for those who actually believed you, who are hoping to actually do you a favor, and then you take advantage of them. And that's what, again, taking advantage of a lot of people, even the people who trust and who try to look out for you, and even was willing to care for you, only for it to go down. And you know what? These women who do that, anybody, just not just women, anybody who lies, tries to frame somebody, they deserve no friends. They shouldn't have anybody beside them. Because why? Because they're just gonna bring you down along with them. So why even as try to convince or try to cheer them up? Because when there's no point. If you try, they're just gonna let you down again, and they're just gonna keep making you look stupid at the end of the day because they're not willing to change. So. And again, Trengove had rapist spray painted on the side of his door. See him being harassed, even though it's not been proven. Ramsden had received more than 500 death threats and had to leave Barrow for months. A reporter from the local Mail newspaper also left the town temporarily on police after receiving dozens of threats in response to reports she wrote about Williams' first court appearance. And again, if you're being accused, this will impact. People don't know how much it affects the people who've been accused, who are alleged creeps. Because that's why the law has to step in, and I don't blame the law. If someone's being accused and it's not been proven, then the law has every right to step in and actually prevent people from escalating the situation. Because you know what? Because based on what people say, it's not entirely true. Because you don't be ignorant to say this guy did this if it hasn't been proven. Nowadays, like what people say is they easily believe, like a bunch of naive twits. It's like they have the same mentality as kids. I feel like kids like smarter than these adults. You need to be smarter than that, people, and learn to know the difference between right and wrong, and try to understand the situation at first hand before you go out and make claims and judge people, because that just lets you know how stupid you are. And for those who do that are just idiots. I'll be real. And no sympathy. If I was being accused of that, if I was being accused of being a predator or whatever, and someone automatically believed it, yo, I would not. Even you decide to apologize after it's proven that I'm innocent, I'm not gonna accept your apology. I'm gonna be like, no, you didn't. You're always siding with the other person. Never try to hear my side of the story. You clearly were playing favorites, and that's why I hate people who play favorites, because you were never willing to hear my side of the story because you were quick to believe it. And for that, you deserve the middle finger. And I can never trust you. And I hope what the worst for you, because that apology is a little too late. So you were being such a hypocrite that what's to say that like I can forgive you? What makes you believe that you deserve my forgiveness? Not at all. Not at all. Indian restaurant owners in the town repeatedly had their windows smashed after a sicker lady on Snapchat purporting to show business complicit in Williams' abuse. One Muslim restaurateur who has not to be named said he lost at least 80,000 worth of euro dollars of custom after being named on the list. Orders dropped from 70, 80 a night to 2, 3, and he was pursued down the street by people on skateboards who used the P word and sprayed beer in his face. Wow. During Williams' sentencing hearing at Preston Crown Court, Judge Altham asked if the prosecution was asking to sentence on the basis that the offenses were motivated by racial hatred. Jonathan Sandiford Casey said no, noting that jury had heard evidence of Williams' affectionate and emotional relationship with at least one Asian man. The court heard Williams continued to maintain her innocence, and the two psychiatrists had been unable to diagnose her with a disorder, but one doctor, Lucy Bacon, said she had experienced complex post-traumatic stress disorder as a result of childhood trauma. No, I'm not going to believe, regardless, even if she had a disability, like, she clearly affected, just literally, she damaged a lot of people's lives. That's why her sentence is the way it is. 8 years, literally 8 years. It should be more than that for 8, and it should not be 8.5 years. If anything, it should be like 15, in my opinion, for the damage that she done, and the result of it, people getting harassed, being spray painted, being assaulted, being called the P word. All of that's because it started because of her. She is the cause of it. And they want to bring up her disorder again, trying to find whatever excuse they can to enable their behavior. Just absolutely outrageous and sick, in my opinion. And again, I'm almost about to conclude this video. For you guys out there if you're accused by a certain woman, my advice, you guys, don't even try to pursue her. Do not try and come in contact. Literally, I would say, literally, do not even try to even forgive her. Literally, your best bet is to like cut ties from the person. Do not have anything to do with them. And if you do confront them, like, yeah, you can scold them for that. Be my guest, because again, it's awkward. Just to be nice. It's very hard to actually maintain your anger when you approach someone who potentially ruins your life, who really did so much damage that like it cannot be repaired. You can go off on the person when you do cross paths with him or whoever. But I see, again, it's best to lose contact. Don't even try to even be persuaded or convinced that she can be forgiven or whoever. This goes for anybody. Because if someone's willing to ruin your life, and you forgive them, what's to say they're not going to do it to you or to somebody else again? By doing that, you're helping them proceed to continue with their atrocious actions, which is absolutely just ignorant and just beyond unbelievable. So it's actually, again, just mind blowing, and I cannot fathom with it still. And by forgiving them, by feeling sorry, it's just absolutely pathetic to do so. Just pointless. I feel it just you won't get anywhere. Trust me. So it isn't helping you. Isn't helping you getting past your struggles, because going to that person, trying to get them to uh, trust, trying to get them to have to have some sort of sympathy. Like, again, they whatever's, you can't really figure out that person, what's going through their mind, because it's just gonna keep putting you to this endless loop, and it's gonna repeat this cycle where you're constantly be taken advantage of, and like, you need to know it's best just to leave and just get out of that cycle. So, because you're actually doing more harm to yourself than you are to the person who accused you. So they need, for you to end your suffering, it's better to let them suffer on their own. So, but again, I feel like I already said way too much because I was reading and explaining to you guys, but I feel like I said enough. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.